Everyone obsesses over their withdrawal rates, but here's what's actually costing people a fortune is assuming that they need the same amount every single year when retirement expenses and income sources change dramatically over time. When you understand how retirement really unfolds, everything changes. So here's what we're covering today. Number one, why the 4.9% update changes everything and why most people are actually implementing it wrong. Number two, the hidden tax trap in traditional bucket strategies that's costing thousands annually. And three, my complete portfolio level framework that maximizes tax efficiency while staying within the safe withdrawal parameters. By the end, you'll understand withdrawal optimization better than most advisors. I'm Bob Wolfe, certified financial planner and IRS enrolled agent, and after analyzing hundreds of retirement scenarios, I've discovered that the withdrawal strategy that's saving clients the most has nothing to do with withdrawal rates, and it's about thinking portfolio-wide instead of being trapped by individual account rules. So let's first address Bill Bengen's most recent update to his sustainable withdrawal rate from 4% to 4.9%. The biggest mistake is not using the old 4% number. It's applying any fixed rate to a variable reality of how retirement actually unfolds. Most people think retirement means withdrawing a consistent percentage every year for 30 years, but that's not reality. Let me show you what really happens. Let's take Sarah, age 65 with $750,000 in a portfolio. The 4.9% rule said she can withdraw $36,750 annually on top of her other income sources. Traditional thinking says she needs the exact amount every year. But here's the kicker. That assumes static needs, which is completely wrong. And here's the pattern that I see with my clients most often. In our first 5 years, we might need $85,000 annually, with mortgage payments, peak travel, higher healthcare premiums to boot. From years 6 to 10, we might need $70,000 annually. Our mortgage is paid off and we've settled travel patterns. And beyond year 11, $60,000 annually with decreased activity and lower expenses. But here's where it gets powerful. Income sources are staggered too. Social Security doesn't start immediately, creating a completely different withdrawal strategy. With Social Security providing $40,000 annually starting at age 67, here's where Sarah's actual portfolio withdrawal needs are. From years 1 to 2, she needs $85,000 from her portfolio. That's an 11.3% withdrawal, blowing straight through the sustainable withdrawal rates. That being said, in years 3 to 5 with Social Security, she needs $45,000 from her portfolio, closer towards a 6% withdrawal rate. From years 6 to 10, she needs $30,000 from her portfolio, or about a 4% withdrawal rate, and beyond years 11, only $20,000 from her portfolio, a muted 2.7% from her portfolio. So the insight here is that you don't need enough money to withdraw that safe 4.9% of your peak expenses forever. You need enough to handle the variable withdrawal pattern that retirement actually requires. This is where Bengen's updated research becomes incredibly powerful. It gives you confidence to handle higher withdrawal rates in earlier years, knowing that they'll decrease significantly over time. Of course, this research is a benchmark, but it's helpful for the sake of our conversation today. Now, some individuals have caught on to this variable withdrawal strategy. They recommend bucket strategies, dividing your portfolio into tranches, with tranche number 1 being conservative assets for early years, tranche number 2 being balanced investments for our middle years, and tranche number 3 being growth assets for our later years. And while this works mathematically, what shocks me when I start analyzing these implications of when individuals come to me wondering why this does not work, the bucket strategy forces you to withdraw from your conservative assets first. So while you're draining your cash and your bonds from your taxable accounts, your growth assets sit in your traditional retirement accounts, growing tax encumbered by the future taxes on that account. So let me give you a sample example of what I see in the aggregate of individuals that come to me asking for help. I had someone, let's call them Tom, with $200,000 in their Roth IRA, invested in growth stocks, and $200,000 in cash in their brokerage account. Their traditional bucketing says withdraw from cash first, it's safer. But think about this for a second. Tom is 65 years old. Those Roth assets could grow tax-free for 30 years. Meanwhile, he's sitting on cash earning maybe 2%, while inflation erodes his purchasing power at 3 to 4% annually. The bucket strategy feels smart, but it's actually destroying wealth if we don't properly rebalance our portfolio systematically back to targets. And here's where the 4.9% research makes this problem even worse if you're not careful. Higher safe withdrawal rates might mean that you are more comfortable holding conservative assets. But if those assets are in the wrong accounts, you're missing this massive tax optimization opportunity. So let's talk about the portfolio level solution that just changes everything here. Stop thinking at the account level and start thinking about the aggregate portfolio level. Instead of asking which account should I draw from first, ask how can I maintain my desired overall allocation while optimizing for taxes? And this is a far more nuanced question. This is what I call portfolio level thinking. Here's exactly how it works. Let's say you need $45,000 and want to maintain 70% in stocks, 30% in bonds across your entire portfolio. Traditional bucketing says you must withdraw from your bond allocation first and your cash down to nothing. But portfolio level thinking says I can withdraw $45,000 from anywhere as long as I immediately rebalance to maintain my 70-30 allocation. So the strategy in this circumstance, as an example, would be that we sell $45,000 of stocks from our brokerage account for living expenses. We simultaneously buy $45,000 of stocks in our Roth IRA, and our net result is our same 70-30 allocation, but now we have more growth assets in our tax-advantaged, never to be taxed again Roth buckets. The key insight here is that Bengen's 4.9% research tells us that we can be more aggressive with withdrawal rates, and portfolio level thinking tells us how to be more aggressive with tax optimization. Combined, they create an incredibly powerful framework. This portfolio level approach unlocks 3 powerful strategies that most retirees never know exists. The first being tax location. And this is a function of placing our highest growth assets in our most tax advantaged accounts, even if you're withdrawing from the same asset classes in taxable accounts. In practice, what this means is placing more stocks in our Roth accounts, HSA accounts, and brokerage accounts, since we can tax loss harvest and also have tax-free in our Roth and HSA, or capital gains treatment in our brokerage accounts. And with our 4.9% safe withdrawal rates as a benchmark, you have more flexibility without worrying about running out of the money, as long as we're staying rebalancing. Strategy number 2, strategic loss harvesting. When you withdraw funds from taxable accounts, we can harvest losses to offset other gains, or even offset our ordinary income up to $3,000 a year. Strategy number 3, Roth conversion timing. Maintain flexibility in withdrawal sources while using higher safe withdrawal rates as a backstop for our maximum tax efficiency timing. So let me show you exactly how this works with an illustrative example. Let's say someone needs $50,000 from their portfolio after all expenses. They have a Roth account with $300,000 in growth stocks, a brokerage account with $250,000 in growth stocks, and a traditional IRA with $200,000 in bonds. The traditional approach is withdraw $50,000 from bonds, pay ordinary income tax rates on the entire amount since, well, the bonds are in a traditional account. The portfolio level approach says sell $50,000 of stocks from our brokerage account, of which allows us to harvest $15,000 of losses. From there, we can buy $15,000 of stocks right back in our Roth IRA to maintain our overall allocation. And we can convert a portion of our traditional accounts into our Roth As a result, we have a similar allocation, we have $15,000 in tax losses harvested, and we have more funds moved into our tax-free account, never to be taxed again, all while staying within our sustainable, safe withdrawal framework. So here's a sample approach to implement this. Step number 1, calculate your portfolio-wide needs. Think, I need X from my portfolio in safe assets, rather than I need specific amounts of assets in specific accounts. Step number 2, optimize tax location. Our Roth accounts are our highest growth potential assets, ideally, letting them compound tax-free. In our traditional accounts, consider current versus our future tax rates for conversions to consider whether or not it might make sense for us to accelerate income. In any event, bonds and fixed income producing assets would be better placed into this type of account so that we don't need to pay taxes along the way and they have more muted growth over time, which means lower future taxes to pay. In our brokerage accounts, assets with loss harvesting opportunities. Those types of assets that might end up fluctuating more, allowing us to squeeze more lemonade from the lemons that the markets might give us and harvest more losses. Step number 3, execute strategic withdrawals. When you need money, ask which withdrawal creates the best tax outcome while maintaining my desired allocation. The 4.9% research gives you confidence to optimize aggressively, but doesn't tell you exactly where to pull from. Step number 4, harvest continuously. Look for tax loss harvesting over time in your brokerage accounts, Roth conversion opportunities, and asset location improvements throughout the year. This is not just a one-time strategy. It is an ongoing optimization process that is often done at the end of the year and intermittently in the middle of the year to make sure that we have good portfolio level hygiene. Now I know what you're thinking. Isn't this too complicated? Actually, it's much simpler once you understand it. You have one portfolio with one allocation target and higher safe withdrawal rates giving you flexibility. The complexity is in the setup, not the ongoing management. Now, what about sequence of returns risk? Bengen's 4.9% research already accounts for this in the historical analysis and is quite frankly conservative. You maintain your desired safe asset percentage, just not artificially constrained by which accounts hold them. Another question I often get is, how do I track everything? Focus on our overall allocation percentages and our total withdrawal rates relative to our baseline, not individual account balances. Most portfolio software shows this across accounts automatically, but requires that tool for you to use. Traditional advisors and investors are playing the account level game. We're playing a portfolio comprehensive level game. Traditional bucketing pays the price of simplicity, but gets terrible tax value. Portfolio level thinking gets maximum value from the same assets. The breakthrough is not just knowing Bill Bengen updated his research to 4.9%. The breakthrough is knowing how to implement this using portfolio level thinking rather than traditional account level constraints. The 4.9% research update gives you permission to be more aggressive with your withdrawals. Portfolio level thinking shows you how to channel that aggression into tax optimization while handling the variable nature of real retirement needs. Remember, you're not managing separate buckets with fixed rates. You're managing one portfolio held in multiple accounts for tax optimization. If you found this portfolio level approach to the distribution planning eye-opening, let me know in the comments. What's your biggest challenge with current withdrawal planning? Are you trapped in the traditional bucketing, or do you have a more strategic approach? Your questions help me create content that solves real problems. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.